In the summer of 480 BC, a small contingent of Greek warriors made their stand at the narrow pass of Thermopylae against the overwhelming might of the Persian Empire. This is the story of the 300 Spartans and their allies, whose courage and sacrifice became legend. A battle that would echo through the ages, inspiring generations with the ideals of duty, honor, and resistance against tyranny. The Persian Empire, under the rule of Xerxes I, was a colossal force, spanning 3 continents and encompassing millions of subjects. Having inherited the empire from his father Darius I, who had previously attempted to subdue Greece at the Battle of Marathon, Xerxes was determined to complete his father's mission. In 480 BC, he launched the largest military campaign the ancient world had ever seen, intent on conquering all of Greece and adding it to his empire. But the fiercely independent Greek city-states were not easily subdued. They rallied together, forming a fragile alliance to defend their homeland against the impending invasion. At the forefront of this resistance were the Spartans, the most feared and respected warriors of the Greek world. As the threat of invasion loomed, Greek leaders convened to determine their strategy. Despite their differences, they knew that unity was their only hope. The decision was made to make a stand at Thermopylae, a narrow mountain pass that would neutralize the Persian advantage in numbers. At the same time, the Greek navy, led by the Athenians, would block the Persian fleet at the nearby Strait of Artemisium. This dual strategy aimed to halt the Persian advance long enough for the Greeks to regroup and prepare a stronger defense. Sparta, with its unmatched military reputation, was chosen to lead the defense at Thermopylae. King Leonidas, recognizing the gravity of the situation, handpicked 300 of his best warriors, men with sons to carry on their names, knowing they were marching to their deaths. As Leonidas and his 300 warriors departed Sparta, they were joined by additional forces from other Greek city-states. Though outnumbered, these warriors were united by their determination to defend their homeland. The combined Greek force numbered around 7,000, including contingents from Thespe, Thebes, and Arcadia. As they marched north, the gravity of their mission weighed heavily on them. They knew that they were vastly outnumbered and that their stand at Thermopylae was a delaying tactic, not a victory march. But for the Greeks, especially the Spartans, there was no greater honor than to fight and die for their people. The journey to Thermopylae was not just a physical march, but a spiritual one, a march toward destiny and immortality. While the Greeks made their preparations, Xerxes' vast army and navy advanced toward Greece. The Persian army, numbering in the hundreds of thousands, was a multi-ethnic force drawn from every corner of the empire. Infantry from Persia, cavalry from Media, archers from Scythia, and sailors from Phoenicia, all marched under Xerxes' banner. To cross into Greece, Xerxes ordered the construction of a bridge of boats across the Hellespont, a feat of engineering that demonstrated the scale of his ambition. As his forces moved relentlessly westward, the Persian king was confident in his victory. He believed that the sheer size of his army would crush any resistance. But at Thermopylae, Xerxes would learn that numbers alone do not guarantee success. As the Greeks arrived at Thermopylae, they set about reinforcing their position. The pass was narrow, with steep cliffs on one side and the sea on the other, an ideal location for the Greeks to hold off the Persian horde. Leonidas ordered his men to repair an ancient wall that had once protected the pass, turning it into a formidable barrier. The Spartans, known for their stoicism, remained calm as they prepared for the inevitable battle. Meanwhile, across the plain, the Persian army set up camp. Tens of thousands of soldiers filled the valley, stretching as far as the eye could see. Xerxes, confident in his victory, sent envoys to the Greek camp, demanding their surrender. Leonidas' response was clear and defiant: "Molin Labe. Come and take them." At dawn, the first wave of Persian troops advanced through the pass, expecting an easy victory. But they were met with a wall of bronze shields and spears. The Spartans and their allies, tightly packed in a phalanx formation, stood their ground, repelling wave after wave of Persian attacks. The narrowness of the pass worked in the Greeks' favor, nullifying the Persians' numerical advantage. The Spartan warriors, trained from birth for combat, fought with discipline and precision, cutting down their enemies with ruthless efficiency. As the sun set on the first day, the Greeks had held the line, defying the might of the Persian Empire. On the second day, Xerxes unleashed his elite troops, the Immortals, an undefeated unit that struck fear into the hearts of their enemies. But even they could not break through the Greek defenses. The Spartans and their allies fought with the same unyielding resolve, their ranks as strong as ever. Each Persian assault was met with fierce resistance, and the Greeks remained unbroken. As the day wore on, Xerxes' frustration grew. He had not expected such stubborn resistance from a force so vastly outnumbered. But for the Greeks, especially the Spartans, retreat was not an option. They knew that their stand at Thermopylae was not just a battle, it was a statement to the world. The Greeks' defense was formidable, but their position was compromised by treachery. A local Greek named Ephialtes, driven by the promise of reward, betrayed his countrymen by revealing a hidden mountain path to the Persians. This path led behind the Greek lines, allowing the Persians to outflank the defenders. When Leonidas received word of the betrayal, he knew their fate was sealed. Despite this, the Spartan king chose to stay and fight, determined to hold the pass as long as possible. He ordered the majority of the Greek forces to retreat, leaving behind only his 300 Spartans, along with 700 Thespians and 400 Thebans, who refused to abandon the fight. With the Persians closing in from all sides, Leonidas and his remaining warriors prepared for their final stand. Outnumbered and outflanked, the Greeks fought with a ferocity born of desperation and pride. They knew there would be no victory, only death, but they were determined to make the Persians pay dearly for every inch of ground. Leonidas himself fell in the fighting, his body surrounded by the corpses of his enemies. The Spartans and their allies fought on, refusing to surrender, until they were overwhelmed. As the last Greek warrior fell, the Battle of Thermopylae came to a tragic end. The Battle of Thermopylae was a tactical defeat for the Greeks, but its impact would resonate far beyond the battlefield. The Persians had paid a heavy price for their victory, losing thousands of men in the process. Xerxes, enraged by the defiance of the Spartans, ordered the body of Leonidas to be mutilated and displayed as a warning to all who would resist him. But far from demoralizing the Greeks, the sacrifice at Thermopylae inspired them to continue the fight. The fallen warriors were mourned as heroes, their deeds immortalized in songs, poems, and stories that would be passed down through the generations. The sacrifice of the 300 Spartans and their allies at Thermopylae became a rallying cry for all of Greece. Their courage in the face of overwhelming odds inspired the Greek city-states to unite against the Persian invaders. Within a year, the Greeks would achieve a decisive naval victory at Salamis, followed by a crushing defeat of the Persian army at Plataea. The Persian invasion was repelled, and Greece remained free. The story of Thermopylae has endured as a symbol of resistance, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, courage and unity can overcome tyranny. The Battle of Thermopylae has captured the imagination of generations, from the ancient historians like Herodotus who chronicled the events, to modern filmmakers who have brought the story to life on the big screen. Thermopylae stands as a testament to the enduring power of heroism and sacrifice. Across the ages, it has been celebrated in art, literature, and culture, serving as an example of the ideals of honor, duty, and selflessness. Even today, the story of the 300 continues to inspire those who stand up for their beliefs, no matter the cost. Thermopylae was more than just a battle, it was a defining moment in the history of Western civilization. The courage displayed by Leonidas and his men has become a symbol of the enduring struggle for freedom and self-determination. Their story reminds us that there are values worth fighting for, and that sometimes the greatest victories are not measured by the battles won, but by the principles upheld. The legacy of Thermopylae endures, a beacon of inspiration for all who face impossible odds with courage and conviction. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. The Battle of Thermopylae stands as a testament to the power of resilience and unity in the face of overwhelming odds. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories from the annals of history. If you found this exploration of history insightful, there's so much more to discover. Our world is filled with stories that shaped the past and continue to influence the present. Make sure to subscribe to Historical for more in-depth looks at the battles, leaders, and decisions that changed the course of history. By subscribing, you'll stay connected with the past and better understand the world we live in today. Don't miss out on the next chapter of history. Stay informed. Stay inspired. We'll see you in the next video.